What is self? A person or thing referred to with respect of complete individuality, a person's nature or character, personal interest, a soul. Can we really be our own selves in this day to day, where life is about living, about dreaming and wanting for others, where we strive not to be real to ourselves but to fool everyone else? Can we really be our own self when all eyes are on our own, where every step is watched and judged, where we are begging for acceptance to be wrong and corrected, to then improve and for everyone to notice? In a world that is really upside down, the true is the moment of the false. Can we really be ourselves when we delete our own false ideas and replace it with the right one, without a flicker of defeat or denial? We are so open to editing and re-editing that we lose ourselves in the edited. We lost the real. Can we really be our own self if the definition of self is to have complete individuality? We learn from both nature and nurture. However, are these both predetermined and changing out of our control? Being born, we are given our mother self, the self which is untainted and unruled by anything. Does the nurture side of our lives start to dictate mother self? What we are and who we will be before we even have a chance or the competence to decide ourselves? Is it down to our mother, father, or social influences to show us what is right or wrong, how to be and how to act, what is the social norm and what is taboo, bending our mother self into just self? Once we are left with self, we can't go back to mother self. She left, and now we have to deal with what we have. The real world is replaced by a selection of images making themselves regarded as the epitome of reality. We wake up, our edited selves, starting the day with the media telling us about what we missed out on in those silent hours of sleep. Mind rested, self-rested, self-protected from the social dissemination, the spreading of information and trends through social media. We wake up with our minds suddenly filled with these trends, adverts and political influencers, drilling into our minds to what has happened. How will this affect us in the next second, day, or years? Does it really matter right now? Does it matter to our own selves? But of course it matters, because everyone loses mother self, so everyone is living with just self. It's not an illusion that we're all on our phones, on social media, and using technology day to day. It is real. It is no illusion that we talk about mother self and bringing her back, yet still rely on a phone timer to count down the seconds left to the presentation, rather than a clock or a watch. Remember clocks? We put them in rooms just to remind ourselves that we are not completely engulfed in this world, where just one limb is poking out, waving, pointing at the hands, reminding us that we still have time. Time is spent consuming images, and in the broader sense, an image of the consumption of time. So in this world, now, we live amongst ourselves. They all influence and dictate what we do and how we behave. People will try to curb our cravings and pull at our insecurities to raise themselves up and better their own self. Pop stars serve as superficial objects that people can identify with in order to compensate for the fragmented, productive specializations that they actually live. The function of these celebrities is to act out various lifestyles or socio-political viewpoints in a full, totally free manner. But if these celebrities acting that they are free, then they are not, then how can we be free either? We cannot let self free. We will be pulled and manipulated to better or develop ourselves through social media platforms, news broadcasts, and influential people of power. If we try to put our phones down or turn off computers, log out and escape, does it make a difference? As soon as we start to listen, speak and write, mother self has left. So what's the point of bringing her back? If we take ourselves away from life, tuck it behind a beach or a cove, hide on top of a mountain or beneath a lake, what does that do? Do you feel revived? New? Do you feel like the day that you were born? Standing back away from life only allows you to appreciate your current self and what you may or may not have. It won't bring back mother self. You know too much already. You knew too much the day you looked at that map and decided where you were going to hide. What has already lived has no relation to the current vision of life. Take what we have learnt and how you have grown, add to other people's self. Allow them to realise that perhaps in some cases social dissemination isn't bad at all, that good can come from the removal of mother self in return for a wealth of knowledge and direction. Can we fault a Facebook group housing members who have all been told there is no cure, that they have to live with what they have, allowing communication, story sharing, and positive mental attitudes towards something so sinister? Can we fault charities reaching out to all ends of the earth through adverts and social media, educating the uneducated about what is beyond their doorstep, outside of their bubble? Can we fault the way travelling has become so achievable with a click of a button, and how we can make new physical connections with people across the world? Can we fault the fact that we want to treasure memories, perhaps not through thoughts but physically, to capture a moment that was too quick to acknowledge then, to have it on your mantelpiece now? Can we fault wanting to wish a family member happy birthday from across the globe in a click of a button, watching them as they open that card you sent 48 hours earlier? Can we fault that we want to know about a tsunami or tornado when it happened, where and whether our friends or family are safe? Can we fault that we are nosy, we are curious animals who want to connect, share and experience? There are limits to being able to bring back Mother Self, as much as there are limits to how much social dissemination affects us before it becomes pollution. But perhaps rather than avoiding the reality and trying to run away from it, realise it is real, it is happening, and how could I use this to benefit my own self?